Hello, how are you doing? Lovely to spend some time with you again. It's great to have you back here for this will be week 7 in our Get Ready for Christmas, Plan with Me for Christmas kind of series. So if you've just stumbled across this video and it's your first time with us, then I'm going to link all the other videos in the series down below in the comments box, so you can watch this first, you can jump back and watch the rest, whatever order you want to do it in, they're all going to be there. If you've been here a while and you're following along, then welcome back. It's really lovely, as I say, to be able to spend some time with you again. So grab a cozy drink and we will get on with this week. And stay tuned right till the end of this video because I do have a Christmas tree update for you. If this is the first video you've watched, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I said I was thinking about replacing my Christmas tree this year. I have news. So in different surroundings today, I am in my office today. The weather today is absolutely atrocious, let me tell you. It is pouring with rain out there. It's so dark. It's the middle of the morning as I'm recording this and it is so dark outside. I was really struggling downstairs to get some decent light. I'm all about creating cozy, so all my lamps are low, kind of soft lighting, and that can be really challenging when you're trying to film. So I need to get one of those big kind of ring lights or something. So thought I'd come upstairs and film up here where the lighting is a lot better. And this is where I spend most of my time these days anyway, whether it's editing videos, whatever it is, it's Business Central, home admin, all of the other tasks. It's also where I've got my Christmas wrapping station set up now. I hope you've got yours organised too. So I'm comfy and cosy up here today with my mug of steaming coffee. And so the first task that we have on the list for today is in the kind of wish list category. And we talked about this a while ago about just, a combination of what kind of Christmas do you want it to be, what do you want to happen, and also let's just say it's a combination of that and your kind of personal wish list as well. And it was just an idea that came to me. I put something on it, I think it was on my Instagram about this, that I stumbled across. It's actually an Icelandic tradition. It's called Jólabókaflóð. I'm probably absolutely butchering that, so I am so sorry if there are any Icelanders out there who are just abhorrent at the way I've just pronounced that. But basically it translates to book flood. Christmas book flood, I think it means. And the tradition is that on Christmas Eve, which is apparently when Icelanders tend to give their gifts on Christmas Eve rather than Christmas morning, but the tradition is that you give books. And there's lots of different theories as to why this tradition started, but my favourite one really is that it is just a way to spend the long winter nights is cozying up with a book. And that just speaks to me. I just think that's a really, really lovely tradition. I suppose as a child I loved to read. I am a reasonably big reader now. So yeah, that just struck me as a lovely idea. There's a couple of reasons for putting it in this kind of wish list category, and that is that, sometimes it's quite nice to introduce these new traditions among your family. Maybe your Christmas is getting a bit stale. Maybe you're feeling it just feels like a carbon copy of the one gone by, and you're looking for a couple of other ideas. And I think that is just a really lovely idea if you've got readers in your family. I think I'm right in saying that the tradition also says that you give some chocolates or something like that along with the book, which seems to me like a great idea. And I was in a local bookstore the other day and I thought it would be really nice to take it one step further and to kind of have a bit of an outing to the bookstore. So the idea would be that you would go with the family, you would all get, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever you needed. Maybe the bookstore's got a lovely cafe that you could go to and get sort of coffee, hot chocolate and cake. That speaks to me as well. But the idea being that everybody in the family gets let loose in this bookstore and they get to just kind of pick their wish list. And, you could take snaps on your phone of the books that you love, or arm yourself with a notepad and pen, go old school, or maybe you let your kids, if they're young enough, have your phone just to snap pictures of the books that they want, but everybody's got a limit, so they're only allowed to, you know, I don't know, take 10 or 12 photos or come up with a list of 10 or 12, and then that list gets distributed among the family. And you know, if you're lucky, you might get like 1 or 2 or 3 books, whatever you decide, in your Christmas stocking or on Christmas Eve with your chocolate to read through the holiday season or and beyond. And I just think it's just a nice tradition. So that kind of sits with me with the wish list of what do you want your Christmas to be? Do you want to create these new traditions? It's just another way as well to get some good gift ideas, is to actually all go to the bookstore together and do it as a kind of Christmas outing that you might think about doing annually from there on in. So that's the kind of first thing I would like you to think about this week. Next task on the list this week is to think about your advent calendars. Have you bought them yet? Because we're now well into November, and all of a sudden, you know, you saw them everywhere a month ago and they start getting a bit thin on the ground. So if advent calendars is something that you do in your family, then I would say you need to be getting them now. And oh my goodness, there's so many different ones out there. Really elaborate ones, really expensive ones. We've now got a dog in the family. My son has a dog, so yeah, we might get one for the dog. Who knows? You can get dog ones, you can get cat ones, everything at every price point. So if that's a tradition that's in your family, then you definitely need to be getting your advent calendars. Make sure that you've got them this week. Next task on the list this week, and I think some of you might think it's a little bit early to be thinking about this, but I don't actually think so, and that is I want you to plan your Christmas Day menu. What are you having for Christmas Day, or whatever big meal you're hosting? Maybe you're hosting Boxing Day, maybe you're hosting New Year's, whatever it is, but I want you to plan that menu. And really there's a kind of couple of reasons for doing that. I think it's a relatively easy task that you can just kind of tick off. You've got it written down then, it's planned, it's sorted. The other reason really, which I think is probably what's going to be happening in our family, and this is sort of part 2 of this task, is plan the menu and or delegate the courses, because generally what will happen if we're hosting in our family, and I guess I think this is, you know, the same for most people, we'll do all the kind of main course and all the sides for the turkey and all the trimmings. Someone else in the family will do the starter, the appetizer. Someone else will bring desserts. If we're doing a cheese course, you know, we'll kind of allocate that. And I think people need to know what's expected of them, and you know, family usually volunteers, I have to say. Can we bring something? Yes, you can do the appetizer, great. So they need time to plan, but you also need to know about dishes. So you have to have a conversation with the family to see, particularly, I mean, desserts, usually you've got dessert plates, dessert bowls, but for an appetizer, you know, starter, are they doing soup? Are they doing, you know, something that needs plated? Just have that conversation so that what doesn't happen is they arrive on Christmas Day with all the bits, you know, to put this together, and then you're scrambling thinking, well, what plates am I going to use? You need to kind of know in advance, and are they bringing the plates? Maybe it's something specific. Some courses, you know, some things travel better than others. So you just need to give all of that a little bit of thought. So I would say this is the week that you need to get the menu planned, decide who is doing what course, so that you can give them a little bit of time to come back to you and let you know what they're actually going to do, so that you can have all the plates and you know, do you need small forks? Do you need spoons, small spoons, big spoons? All of that, but get it planned this week. Next task on the list this week is in the hosting category, and that is to think about your table place cards. Now, not everybody bothers with place cards, that's absolutely fair enough. I quite like them. I just like to think about the table plan in advance. There's usually a fair crowd of us, so I like to plan out, you know, who's going to sit where. In some families, this is a must, because there's probably some personalities that you just wouldn't sit next to each other, that you'd want them at opposite ends of the table. I'm glad to say that isn't the case in my family, but I do quite like to have place cards. Now, I know that I've made the mistake in the past where I've thought, oh, I'm going to be really crafty crafty this year and I'm going to make all my place cards and I'm going to got all these crafty ideas of what I'm going to, how I'm going to make them. And then it comes to the bit and I just run out of time and I just forget, I just don't have time to do it. Give it some thought. Be realistic about what is going to be possible for you. It's not something that's super expensive. You can usually pick up just plain white ones relatively inexpensively. So even if you plan to be really crafty and make them yourself, I would still pick up a pack of just plain white ones, just so that you've got something in case you don't get round to it. But it is the sort of thing that there's probably loads of in the shops just now, and then come closer to Christmas, they just all disappear. So put that on your list for this week, your master shopping list, and make sure that you either pick them up somewhere or order a pack online, but just get your place cards organised, or if you are going to be super crafty and make them, decide what you're going to do and make sure that you get all the bits to do it with this week. Next on the list this week, we are thinking about the charitable giving and the volunteering category in your planner. This is not something that is relevant to everyone, but for a lot of people it's very relevant. It's a big part of their life, and I wanted to include that in the planner to give them somewhere that they can organise all of that, because there's a lot of organisation goes into that kind of topic. But there's another way that we could probably all help, even if you're not specifically volunteering somewhere or have a particular event on the go, and that is just simply to have a bit of a declutter in your home this week. What are the things that you no longer use that would be really beneficial to someone this Christmas, this winter, and get those things donated? It's a particularly good opportunity for families with young children to have a bit of a clear out of the toys and the games that they no longer need, want, use. It's a good lesson for them, if they are going to be lucky enough for whether it's Santa or whether it's family, friends to be giving them some new toys this Christmas. What are the things in their room that they no longer play with, no longer need, that they could perhaps give away to some boys and girls that maybe aren't as lucky as them? There's bound to be things that we can clear out. How many winter coats do you have at the back of your coat cupboard, your wardrobe, that you no longer use? I've got a whole box of scarves and gloves that I probably don't use all of, that could easily be donated. So that's something I would like you to think about this week. The other thing is, and I'm sure there's going to be schemes globally, but if you're in the UK, did you know that Dunelm stores run a scheme where you can donate old household items and specifically Christmas decorations, and they will match them with local families in need. Now, if you go onto the Dunelm website, you'll be able to have a look. I'll link the website below. I'll try and find the specific link and put that in the comments section for you. I know not all stores are participating, but it does list some of the stores on the website, and actually you'd probably be better just asking the next time you're in your local store if they are a participating store, but you can just drop the items off there. I think particularly the Christmas decorations one speaks to me, because I know I've got decorations there that I'll probably never put up again, and it would just be a nice way to spread some Christmas joy to families who just don't have. So that's one to think about if you're in the UK. But yeah, just generally, what can you declutter this week that you could donate? Next on our list this week, and we're starting to move into those kind of house tasks that need done around this time of year. This one, yeah, I hate it. It's cleaning the oven, cleaning the hob. Actually, our hob is not an issue because we have an induction hob. Best thing I ever did. It stays so clean. But if you've got like a gas hob or something like that, then this week give it a really good clean, a really good scrub. Ovens, get them done this week ahead of all of the Christmas cooking that's going to be happening. It's just a good time here. Maybe you're really efficient and maybe you clean your ovens all the time, so maybe this is not something that you need to have put on your radar, but I'll hold my hand up and say my ovens do not get cleaned super regularly. So it's something that I'll definitely be doing this week. But yeah, get the ovens cleaned ahead of all the Christmas cooking. That's another one on your list this week. And the last thing on our list this week, it's not so much a task, it's really just something, an idea to give you to start thinking about, because this is probably about the time that you will be starting to decorate, maybe put your tree up, bringing out the decorations. And that is when you are decorating for Christmas, is to try and think about it as if you are decorating for the winter season, with a sprinkling of Christmas on top. What do I mean by that? Well, what you're really trying to be able to do is to get to a place where when you take down all your Christmas decorations, you're not left with this horribly stark space just as you're going into kind of January, February, which are really the bleakest months of the year. You've had all this joy at Christmas and you know, the kind of holiday season, festive season. You strip away all the decorations and the place just looks really, really stark and bare. So think about how, when you're decorating, you can put that layer of winter down and then decorate for Christmas on top of it. I'm a big believer that when you take down your Christmas tree and your decorations, there's a lot of things that can still stay up. I'm definitely one for leaving kind of twinkle lights up. The way that I put my lights out, and I will show you when I decorate for Christmas this year, I have twinkle lights in places other than on the Christmas tree and in garlands and things that mean that I can then leave them up throughout January and February. Lots of kind of faux fur throws, cosy throws. When you're buying decorations as well, try and think about them being for winter and not just for Christmas, to give you a bit more longevity. It might be something as simple as some coffee mugs that you're buying. Rather than going for the ones that have like Santa Clauses on them, maybe you go for the ones that just have snowflakes on them, that are definitely more winter than Christmas, and then you can just keep them out that much longer. Maybe it's some sort of decoration, maybe a lantern or something that has just got a kind of wintry pine tree pattern on it, rather again than Santa Clauses or some symbol that is very specifically Christmas. I'm going to try and find some examples, and I'll drop them in here, of things that I mean that are just, you know, more winter based than Christmas. Once it's on your radar and you start looking at things, you will be able to see and to tell the difference. Does it look specifically like a Christmas decoration, or is it something that you can, you know, keep out all winter long? So if it's got maybe a snowman on it, to me, that can stay out. It's winter, it's snow. If the snowman has, if the snowman's got a Christmas tree behind him, then no, that's really Christmassy, and it would have to go away after Christmas. Hopefully you kind of see what I mean. But I'm going to try and drop some pictures in here and let you see some examples. But it's just to put that on your radar, because you will be starting to decorate over the next couple of weeks. And as I say, try and put that winter layer down. So it might be faux fur cushions. You know, rather than going for all Christmassy cushions with Christmas themes, try and go for winter, cozy, snowflakes. Think about, you know, decorating like a ski chalet, that type of thing. Way beyond Christmas, it still feels really, really cozy and wintry. It's just when you're starting to look, you know, you're out and about looking at decorations, thinking about things that you're buying to decorate for Christmas, you want to think about what's going to give you longevity. How could you potentially keep that item out, whether it's a throw blanket, a cushion, an ornament? Could you keep it right out until spring? I'm going to be giving you lots of examples of that, and especially after Christmas we'll be looking at kind of home decor for the winter season. But rather than having to change it all, you really want that base layer in so that you can just pack away the Christmas, but you're left with a nice cozy winter vibe to see you through to spring. So that's what I want you to think about this week as you start to think about decorating for Christmas. So, Christmas tree news. I bought one and it's arrived. So this is the one that I went for. I'm going to link it below. So I went for the Everlands one. What I really wanted was one that was a better shape. It's called the Everlands Grandis Fir. I wanted one that was a better shape than the one that I had. The one that I had, I just felt looked really artificial, and it was very cone shaped, whereas this one is a more kind of natural looking shape with quite a bit of sort of space in between the branches. I'll pop the image in here of what it looked like online. When I first opened it, I was a wee bit disappointed that it wasn't exactly as I thought it was going to be, but I think it's going to be absolutely fine. So it's got these kind of artificial well, obviously artificial, but sort of realistic looking pine needle effect here. But then further in, it's got the sort of more like tinselly effect, the sort of traditional artificial tree. I thought it was going to be this style for the whole tree, and it's not. Looks, the camera's gone out of focus. It's got this sort of older style, you know, in the middle of the tree. But the big advantage that it's got over my old tree, the old tree, you had to get all the branches came singly, and you had to line them all up in their colour coords, find all the different sizes, slot them all in, whereas this all has just all hinged branches, so it's going to be much faster, I think, to put up. And I got it at an absolute steal. I think I paid, was it $139.99 for this? And literally 24 hours later, the price had gone up. After I'd bought it, thankfully, the price had gone up by another £20 or so. So I think it was a great deal, considering how much artificial trees can cost. We won't know till we get it up with all the lights and all the decorations on it, but yeah, just wanted to let you see which one I ended up going for. And that's it for this week. I am going to be heading off this weekend on a trip. So by the time you see this video, by the time it gets posted, I will be back from the trip. Yeah, we're heading to London. We have a weekend with friends planned, crowd of us weekend in London. And then I'm going to be staying on for a few days into the following week. Thought I would be able to bring you some footage of what London is like at Christmas, hit all the iconic high spots, let you see what's going on down there, the lights, the decor, the shopping, all of that. And then I've got another exciting event to attend, which I will be filming some of as well and bringing you that. So look out for those videos in the coming weeks if you want a sneaky peek of what is happening in London this Christmas. But yeah, that's it. I hope you're getting lots of things ticked off your list, and I will see you in the next one.